Hello guys, welcome back to the Beastie Room. Now today we're going to have another rehouse, and this is of a spider that we've not shown on the channel before, and that is the Tapinauchenius violaceus, which is the purple tree spider. Now this is a New World arboreal spider. They come from Brazil and they are really pretty, but we don't see an awful lot of them. So our spider actually is inside this tube. So she's just chilling out on the desk while we sort out. This is a female in here, and she's just chilling out in there, and we are going to build her a nice new home in this exo. This is a 20 by 20 by 30. So we're going to set this up for her. Another nice simple enclosure. Now we're going to put this in with our mixture of potting soil and cocoa fibre. It is so annoying, isn't it? It's very noisy. There you go, look. Try to do it quiet. Right. I know a lot of you budding people out there, YouTube, doing their filming bits and what have you, and all saying, cool, I wish I had a camera lady. Trust me guys, she's a lot of hard work. Right, there we go. We're going to get that in there. So we are going to, as we said, this is a New World arboreal spider. So we're going to put a nice big piece of cork bark in the back there. And we're hoping she's going to make a nice room out of that. We've got some moss here, which to all intents and purposes looks a little bit dry and a little bit dead, but this is where we've had it sitting in the room, and we pulled this piece of moss out of another enclosure that we changed, and we are going to use it in here. Now it doesn't matter if it's dried out like this, because once it gets wet it will in fact pick up again, and it will soon liven up, so it will look good once again. It's surprisingly resilient moss, it really is. That being said, it doesn't like getting too hot, and not all mosses like to be too wet either. Alright, so we're gonna, whether we just, I was wondering whether we were going to use a piece of this. I wonder whether I can force a piece of that in there, just to give another aspect, give it somewhere else to sit out, because it would be really nice to see this spider. So we're going to have our water bowl here as well. I'm wondering whether we should put our water bowl more over here. What do you think? Probably back here, I think. So we'll get that. We've got our hot glue gun on the go. Remember guys, this does get hot. A lot of smoke coming off of that. Got our squirty. I'm going to put that in there. Now remember, once we get our hot glue on there and we put it onto our water bowl, we can in fact use it straight away, because as soon as we spray it, it will actually set it completely. Yeah, it will set it. So as you can see there, we've given our moss an absolute drowning, and that is because it is absolutely bone dry. So once we get that, that will soon go down into our soil there. Remember, we don't need the clay balls in this. We only really use them for some of the planted tanks, which we are going to start getting back into. You'll notice that we're slowly but surely starting to get our enclosures over back onto glass. Right then, so our spider is in this tube, and as you well know, I'm not a lover of these tubes because, as you can see, it's very, very difficult for us to work out where our spider is. We know it's in there somewhere.
I can see her.
Yeah.
I can't through the camera though.
No, but when this is inside your enclosure, it is almost impossible to ascertain what is going on here. We just don't know. So I prefer not to use the cork tubes. I don't like them. Purely because I cannot see what's going on. I've got no control of what's happening in here. When we have an enclosure like this, we can obviously see in the front, so if she comes out, she's there. You might sit there and say, well, if she hides behind here, how does that help? Well, we have our blackout board on the back. We can take that off and we can see directly behind and see exactly what she's getting up to. So if she
webs, you can see through.
Yes, even if this gets webbed up, because the blackout board is there, she will only put a fine layer of web on the glass. Generally speaking, they don't heavily web the glass up, so we can still see it. Even if this is webbed up, we can get our torch and we can see and work out what is going on in there just by the torchlight. We can see whether she's getting ready to molt, or if we've paired her, we can see if there's an egg sac. All sorts of things. We have control, and that is what it's all about. We need to be able to tell what our spider's up to without having to destroy our enclosure. So I like to use the blackout boards on the back, and this gives me that control that we're talking about.
Let's open the door again so we don't get the
We can open the door just for you. There we go. There we are. Right, so we've got a very, very simple enclosure. Now what we're going to do now is we are going to try and poke this spider out.
Will she sit on the table?
I'm hoping she's going to come out and walk on here. That being said, we don't know nothing about this spider, so we don't know how she's going to behave. So, as you can see, this end was stuck in the floor, and this is the end that she would come up. You see how she's webbed that up? You see that?
See if I can get in there.
You see that? Is it showing?
Get a torch. It kind of looks like it goes deep. There you go. That's it.
So you can see now how she's webbed the top of that up. So many of our arboreal spiders, as are most of the spiders, are nocturnal. So what she will do, she will hide down in here, web that top up so that predators and things like that won't know she's there. And even if they do manage to find her, it gives her an opportunity to be able to escape, to evade. So hence that's why they do it. Now, if you look at many of our enclosures, when we say about having our cork bark on the back, we don't want too much of a gap between that and the back glass, because we want to make our spider feel secure and snug. In this cork tube, it's obviously quite tight inside here. This is what gives her that security, makes her feel at home. So we can replicate that by using our cork flats up against the bark, but we still maintain where we can see them. You know, we can see. In here, we've got no hope at all. So what we're going to do, we are going to come in through the top here, and we are going to try and get her to walk out the bottom. And I can't actually see her, so I don't even know.
Well, we can tell you.
We are literally running blind here.
No, I've got your paintbrush coming.
Hold on.
Here she comes.
She's coming out.
Yep. Here she comes. You see your leg? See that leg?
That's a molted leg.
Oh man, don't tell me I'm seeing a molt coming.
Yeah, you're watching a molt. Right. I need to be. Where is she? You can see now.
Here she comes for proper.
Right.
Yeah, she's at the entrance to the tube now, Dave.
Yeah, I
can't get very good focus at the moment.
Go back a bit. Here she comes.
Oh.
Now you can see now,
I don't like.
now bearing in mind, these guys are very nocturnal.
Wow.
There you go, the purple tree spider.
That is stunning.
Isn't that just beautiful? We're just going to try and take a picture now, because we don't often get to see these guys.
Give me a bit of.
Now this one has actually got a rather large abdomen.
Right, can you give me some sight of the.
Yeah. And as you can see, her abdomen is absolutely huge. So this girl needs to go on a bit of a diet. She is very, very, very big. Now she could be full of eggs.
Keep still.
Hold on, I'm trying. It's not the easiest. Try and get a bit of light.
Oh, that velvet's picking up now.
You see that? Now you can see that in the abdomen. It's got like the tiniest of hairs, which makes it almost look like velvet.
That is amazing.
Wasn't she absolutely wonderful? He says a little bit of a green carapace going on there. There's some reds. She's got a very winey, sort of red winey looking colour. You can see the hairs on the legs are very, very red.
Keep still.
That is one very, very pretty spider. Now this is an adult female, and I think it would be in our interest to find a male as quick as possible. Look at that. See how the colour changes with the light?
She is super pretty. You're not getting the depth of that red on the hairs on her legs really on the camera, because it's, like you say, it's more of a winey colour. On the video it looks quite pink.
Yeah, you can see her eyes there as well. You see the way her eyes are set? Many spiders, their eyes are very, very different. They're set in different ways. Look at that. She is absolutely gorgeous. So yes, I think
really still for me.
we definitely need to find a male. And she's being very well behaved. Now, as we said earlier on, these guys come in from Brazil, and they are a New World arboreal. And this will be a very cool spider.
For a hair flicker, she's not got a very hairy.
Well, they don't all flick like that. She's actually going to find herself way.
Oh no, Dave!
She's going to go back down. Look,
As far as she get a bum in there.
it's a bit on the large side, isn't it?
God, look at that.
She's actually gone into a bit of a dead end, I think. Let's hope she don't go all the way down, because my finger's in the other end.
Right.
Right then.
So you get her out of there now.
Yeah, so now we literally just got her out, and she's actually just gone straight back in again. So as you can see, right, she's coming all the way back out again. So we will try.
You're going to pop her in there.
Yeah, we're going to try and get her to. We are literally doing this by feel because we can't see her. Here she comes. She's coming out backwards.
How did she turn around in there?
I don't know. She's cleverer than I am. And she's gone past the paintbrush. How did she do that? Right. Right, there you are. Okay. Here she comes. That's a girl. Come on. No, you got to come out. You got to come out. Isn't that just absolutely beautiful?
She is pretty.
I've got to get another photograph. So we're just going to try and get one more photograph. So what we must do is get this this abdomen down to a reasonable size. I'm going to try and get her to walk along. I'll go that way. Lovely new bit of bark there. I'm not so good with a brush with my left hand.
You're doing amazing.
There we go. She's in. So that is that.
Went straight behind, did she?
No, she's underneath. So what we're going to do, come around the front here, we are going to get her to come up. There you go. There she is. Look at that.
I've got a big picture of her bottom.
Now all she will want to do at the moment is to try and hide away. She will come down the back here. This is where we wanted to make her new home. But that is one very, very well-fed spider. So there's an interesting thing here. As you can see with her abdomen, it is on the large side. So what we would do now is we are going to put this girl on a little bit of a diet, which means that we are going to, if you want to go round, I'll turn that. Which means we're going to put her on a little bit of a diet. So what we will do is we will not feed her for a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, and then we can then try and observe her. So the best time to observe this spider is going to be of a night time, and so we can keep an eye on her of a night time. Now one of the things is when they're very, very big like this, they won't tend to come out so much. And this is purely because they really don't need to. They have got enough fat reserves to keep them going all the way through. So she doesn't really need to be feeding at all. If you've got a spider that's in this condition with this size sort of abdomen in comparison to the rest of it, you are overfeeding your spider a little bit.
A little bit.
So yeah, so we need to get her back down. I would like to see her probably down to about another 20% or more off of that. She's looking very, very large.
And could it be because of eggs? Or
She's possibly produced eggs, and she could be getting ready to drop. Obviously, if she's not paired, then they will just be reabsorbed. So, if anyone has a purple tree spider male, get in touch, and then we can perhaps see if we can't pair these up. That would be an absolutely lovely thing to try and catch on video. Really, really cool. So regarding the food, with this size spider, we're looking at adult no bigger than 5 inches. These are quite a small arboreal spider, especially in comparison to some of our Asian spiders. She will be, I would personally feed this style spider more on the things like large crickets to red runners, stuff like that. And she only really needs 1 a week, and that is more than enough. If she starts to find that her abdomen is shrinking a little bit, then give her an extra one. But you're looking at keeping that carapace really about 1/3 smaller than what this already is.
Carapace?
Her abdomen, sorry. Yeah, she definitely needs to thin down just a tiny bit. So there you go. She's like, she said, you've seen enough of me. I'm going to disappear. You can see just how bulbous that is. It's very, very full. I'll be surprised if she is not full of eggs. So yes, the hunt for a male begins.
Goodbye, bottom.
We will have a look and see if we can't locate one. If any of you guys out there watching have got one, throw me a message on Facebook, and we will be more than willing to purchase it from you. and see if we can't breed this wonderful spider. Absolutely awesome. What a lovely looking spider. Now, in terms of their general care, is pretty much what you've seen here. Nice simple enclosure. I don't need it massively hot, so mid to high 70s is more than ample for these guys. They'd be perfectly happy. Humidity wise, they do like a little bit of humidity, but the same as with everything else, they still require a dry place to rest. So a nice dry area behind that cork bark is exactly what they need, with the humidity on the outside. Remember, we are not measuring humidity by wetness in water that we can see. Humidity is in the air. So we want to use this soil to gain that humidity. She's come back up again. Yeah, she's come back up and sitting on the top again.
She's like, I'm not sure about that hole just yet.
Yeah. So hopefully she will settle down. She will find the back of that piece of cork in there. She will web that up, make it a nice secure home. We are not going to feed this girl for at least 3 weeks before we look on her again for food. And even then we will
6 months.
yeah, even then we will still monitor her and sort of keep an eye out. So how we do it is, when we come in our room, if we've got spiders that we don't see an awful lot of, then what we do is we turn our lights out a little bit early, and then we go away and we leave them for a few hours. So like this time of year, we might well say turn our lights out at 7 o'clock. If we go to bed around about 10:30 or so, they've had like 3 hours or more where they've had nice pitch black, totally quiet, no disturbance. 9 times out of 10, if we come in then with our torch, we can go around and we will see the shyer spiders, the spiders that don't like coming out in the day. Them ones will normally, if they're up for a bit of food and stuff, they will be at the mouth of their burrows, or they'll be hanging over the edge of their cork bark. We will see them. Now, once we've seen them in this position, this is how we monitor whether they need to be fed or not. So we will then do this over a period of a few days. So if we come in again the following night and they're still sitting out there looking for food, we know we want to feed that spider. If we haven't seen their abdomen, we can sometimes wait. Just wait a few more days. It doesn't matter. Eventually they will come out a little bit more. If they're still being a little bit funny, one trick that we do is, when we turn the lights off, we will open the catch on the door, and we will leave it so that the door is just like that, but we leave the catch open. And when we come in of a night time, we can quite often, bearing in mind this will be on a shelf so it's sturdy, we can quite often just open that up really gently like that, nice and slow, and then we can tongue feed our spider. So we can literally get a cricket or whatever, get it on the end of our tweezers. Important that it's literally on the very end of your tweezers, and then we can put it in and we can offer it down here. And our spider, if hungry, will come out and grab that, and that is often the time when we will see their abdomen, if they're one of the very shy ones. So there's lots of little tricks that you can use to find out what your spider is up to and whether or not you need to feed it. Try and get away from this feeding on a weekly basis. Unless you're very strict with sizes of food, weekly feedings often result in spiders that are slightly overweight. Right, well, I hope you enjoyed that. What a wonderful spider, and hopefully one that we will see a bit more of in the future. And don't forget, be calm, be gentle, and love your spider. And I'll see you all soon, guys.